Have you ever wondered why the soprano/mezzo/alto parts in 17th century operas sound so unique? The answer may surprise you. Let's journey back to the 17th century, a time when women's voices were absent from the opera stage. Yes, you heard it right. Women were prohibited from sharing their vocal talents on stage, not even in a chorus. A curious solution was found for this though, and it was rather unusual by today's standards. Castrated males, known as castrati, were employed to sing the soprano, mezzo, and alto parts. This practice was prevalent and widely accepted despite its shocking nature to us now. One of the first and most renowned castrati was Baldassare Ferri, who lived from 1610 to 1680. He was so celebrated that the townsfolk would greet him 3 miles outside the city, showering his carriage with flowers in admiration and reverence. However, the world of opera was not without its scandals. In 1697, the Tor di Nona, a prominent opera house, became the epicenter of such a scandal. The behavior reported there was so outrageous that it reached the ears of Pope Innocent XII, who reigned from 1615 to 1700. The Pope was so appalled by what he heard that he declared the opera house immoral. His response was drastic and final. He ordered the Tor di Nona to be burned to the ground. The 17th century was a fascinating era in the history of opera. Dramatic, scandalous, and filled with unique solutions to circumvent societal restrictions of the time. It was a time when the unseen singers, the castrati, held the limelight, their voices echoing through opera houses, filling the void left by the absence of women. So, it is safe to say, women didn't have much of a role on the opera stage in the 17th century. Moving forward in time, let's look at some of the individuals who shaped the world of opera as we know it today. Our first stop is France, where Jean-Baptiste Lully, an Italian-born musician, was making waves. Lully is often considered the father of French opera despite his Italian origins. He revolutionized the French music scene with his compositions and is famously known for pioneering the concept of the conducting stick. However, his story takes a tragic turn. In a twist of irony, Lully met his end due to a self-inflicted injury with his own conducting staff. His foot became gangrenous after he hit it with the heavy staff, leading to his untimely demise. From France, we travel to Germany, where Charles Gounod was struggling with ticket sales for his opera, Faust. In a genius marketing move, the producer gave away tickets for the first 3 performances to people out of town and declared the performances were sold out. The public, intrigued by the buzz, began buying tickets, and Faust became a hit. It's a testament to how a little creative thinking can turn the tide. Our journey continues with Christoph Willibald von Gluck, the founder of German opera. Gluck was a major force in moving opera away from dramatic and unnatural practices to more realistic performances. His influence was so profound that he impacted the works of greats such as Mozart and Wagner. Gluck's emphasis on realism and drama in opera set the stage for the genre's evolution, setting it apart from other forms of theatrical music. These pioneers not only shaped the operatic landscape, but also influenced future generations of composers. Their individual contributions, whether it was Lully's conducting stick, Gounod's marketing strategy, or Gluck's emphasis on realism, have left a lasting legacy. They've shaped the way we experience opera today, and their influence continues to reverberate in the compositions and productions of contemporary opera. Opera has not only influenced classical music, but has also left its mark on pop culture. Let's explore some examples. Firstly, let's address a familiar phrase that many of us have heard. The opera ain't over till the fat lady sings. This saying is often used to convey that one shouldn't assume the outcome of an event until it's actually over. The Fat Lady is generally believed to refer to the buxom Brunhilde and her 10-minute aria at the end of Wagner's Ring Cycle operas. It's interesting to note that this phrase, which has permeated everyday language, owes its origins to opera. Speaking of Wagner, his Walkürenritt from Die Walkür, also known as Ride of the Valkyries, has been a staple in movies and TV shows, adding drama and intensity to many memorable scenes. A notable example is its use in the film Apocalypse Now, where U.S. soldiers blast this music from their helicopters to terrify the Vietnamese. Beyond specific pieces of music, opera has also contributed to the way we structure and understand film scores today. Wagner revolutionized opera by introducing the concept of the leitmotif, a musical theme associated with a main character. This concept has been widely used in popular films, most notably Star Wars, where characters like Princess Leia, Luke Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Yoda each have their own distinctive musical themes. Finally, opera has even made its way into the world of cartoons. Warner Brothers' 1957 classic, What's Opera, Doc? Features Elmer Fudd chasing Bugs Bunny in a parody of Richard Wagner's Ring Cycle operas. This cartoon was not only voted #1 of the 50 greatest cartoons, but was also deemed culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant by the Library of Congress and selected for preservation in the National Film Registry. Opera, it seems, has a way of seeping into our everyday lives, often in ways we don't even realize. Before we wrap up, let's delve into some intriguing trivia about opera. Did you know that the musical prodigy Mozart composed his first opera, Bastien und Bastien, at the tender age of 12? This comedic opera was a parody of Jean-Jacques Rousseau's operatic intermezzo Le Devin du Village. Quite a feat for a young lad, wouldn't you agree? On the other hand, Beethoven, renowned for his symphonies, penned just one opera in his lifetime. Titled Fidelio, it is a compelling masterpiece that explores themes of heroism and love. Interestingly, Beethoven revised this opera multiple times over a span of 11 years, a testament to his commitment to perfection. Now, here's a fun tidbit for all you opera-goers. When applauding a performance, you should shout "Bravo" for a male performer, "Brava" for a female, "Bravi" for multiple performers, and "Brave" if the performers are all female. So the next time you attend an opera, don't forget to shout "Bravo" or "Brava" at the right moment.